All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the Carolina Panthers. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying fly, Eagles, fly as they get ready to match up with the Carolina Panthers. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Second and 9 now from the 21.
Lion.
Wentz to throw on second down. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Mario Addison in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Shotgun now for Wentz. Able to shake him off. Now he steps away. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the first.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. It's an integral part of the quarterback run game, and he gets it done very, very well.
You don't like sneaky athletic, do you? That's just kind of a jab in the back.
Yeah, not when it doesn't apply. I think that's a stereotype that needs to be broken down for him.
Now a play fake here on first down. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And with the play clock reading 4, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down.
Solid.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And he hits his man, Matthews. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Here's Sproles. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
Get over there. Go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is 3rd down. Wentz. Aguilar has it. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Sproles. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Darren Sproles, his second touchdown on the season. And the Eagles drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. You'd have to imagine for a team that's lost 3 straight games, scoring first in this first quarter has to feel pretty good.
It has to feel great for them, and also it's a nice signal to the rest of the team, because we talk about complementary football all the time. So they've now signaled to the defense, now signaled to the kicking game, hey, we're here to play in this one. We're going to do our part. Let's see if you guys will do the exact same, and we can break this losing streak.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Play action. It's Newton. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now a carry, it's C.J. Anderson. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
3rd and long, it's Newton. And he finds a man, it's Olsen. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards. First down. Here's the run with Anderson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. He gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
On 1st and 10, Newton. This is caught. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. From the gun, here's Newton. And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Panthers. Olsen. Greg Olsen, his first touchdown on the year. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game. Gano the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that...
Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. Stepping up, he'll try and run. Open space inside the 10. And he's all the way down to the 6-yard line. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down. Now they'll give it to the first option. That's their fullback. And he's going to ball his way in for a Panther score. It's the fullback. His second touchdown on the season. And his guys are able to strike for 6. Extra point try good by Gano. And that makes the score 14-7. Gano out to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Here's a handoff to Sproles to start the drive. And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter of play. They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. The Eagles on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Working from the gun, Wentz. Call that a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Carolina getting set to take the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 42. Out of the gun, Newton. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it with Sproles. And he's got this down to the 35. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A run, it's Clement. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. That is caught inside the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Rip. Lion.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Run.
Now Wentz. And Matthews has got it. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jordan Matthews, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
They'll roll him out right, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Oh, my Cam. There's times when I'm not analyzing up here. I'm just appreciating. Led NFL quarterbacks in rushing last year. He is truly the ultimate weapon at that position.
On 2nd down, Anderson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Newton. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now Newton. Going for the deep ball. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again, Newton. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
20.
Throwing again is Newton. And he comes back with one complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. And Gano's kick is right through. And they take a 17-14 lead. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. To throw, it's Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this.
Let's go. Hey, rip 5-2 on here.
Play action to Sproles. Wentz sliding out of the pocket. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Go.
Here's Wentz to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Here's Anderson as they begin this series on the ground. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find a little space. He gets this up near the 10. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here's Michael Pilardi now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Dontari Poe in on the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
The Eagles on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Wentz. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 15. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
So we come upon halftime intermission here with the visiting Panthers taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. This will be taken short. Now a hit and a loose football. Well, they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
When you kick off and you go downfield and get the ball back, that's what I call a great opportunity.
In a one-score game, I always circle, and you know this, but in my play-by-play sheet, I circle big plays. It could be turning points. This could be a turning point.
Did you put a second circle around this one? This is pretty big.
I put a star. Now it's Sproles. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
Right back to him on first down. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Darren Sproles, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. Elliott good with a PAT, and that will make this a 4-point game. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
180.
Operating from the gun. Newton got a man. It's the rookie from Maryland, DJ Moore. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here we go. Gun.
Now Newton on first down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
The Panthers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, Newton. Found his target, it's Anderson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside. Not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the first. Now a play fake here on first down. He'll buy some time right. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. Cam Newton with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And his guys are able to strike for 6. Gano for the extra point. Gano the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Gano out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
We're good.
On play action, Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Luke Kuechly leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Wins to throw on second down. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
You got four. You got four. Watch twist. Wrap. 25. Check 25. Check 25.
Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. And that is incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. And onto the field here come the Panthers. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They start the drive with Anderson. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. Give the tackle that time to Rodney McLeod.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Here we go.
Again, Anderson. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They give it to Anderson. Big hold of the 30. And he cuts it back right. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. Newton on first down. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Timmy Jernigan with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Newton. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker Jordan Hicks. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
74. Mike 51. What's up?
Sproles. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
46 down, man. 5-4.
And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
There we go. Back. 120. Down, man. 5-4.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. He sets to fire deep. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. And now he'll tuck it and run. And they'll get him down up past the 15. They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a 1st down.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
So that last play gives them a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. 10th carry now for Anderson. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter.
Come on now.
Now a play fake, and it's Newton. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jordan Hicks coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he fends him off. He may try and run for this. And avoids the contact by sliding. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the 4th. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Fletcher Cox breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. Operating from the gun. Newton. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now Sproles. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 11.
81.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Mario Addison in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Now on 4th down, it's the punt team sending this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. Caught left side by Funchess. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Newton now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Anderson. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They run it again with Anderson. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
They run. Anderson. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Anderson. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. Newton's going to throw it. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Following the penalty, Anderson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Yardage back near midfield at the 49. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Carolina. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Rip.
Back to throw. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Sometimes it's hard to figure, but you can live with incompletions in this situation. You can't live with these short gains that take time off the clock.
You know who loves it? This defense. They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. K1 short. In there to drop him as the clock continues to roll.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And they're out of timeouts, remember, so this is going to have to be a delay. That's going to set them back 5 yards. Every penalty so critical at this stage of the game as now they've got it 3rd and long. He's back to throw. And he's going to go down again. Luke Kuechly in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for Carolina, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, things are definitely going south quickly as they fall now to 1-6. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.